Conference underway in Sandton, north of Johannesburg, where delegates are currently giving their final remarks. Let's listen in.
For that inspiring intervention. Next is Conservation Alliance of Kenya. You have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On behalf of the Conservation Alliance of Kenya, the Kenya Wildlife Conservancy Association of Kenya, Amboseli Ecosystem Trust, and the Amboseli Tsavo Group Ranches Conservation Association, I congratulate the Republic of South Africa and the CITES Secretariat for the organization of COP17. Most important, it is the opportunity of an entry point for rural community representation and youth involvement with the possibility of a clear role and terms of reference at COP18 through the Standing Committee. Well, the precautionary principle is laudable for CITES because CITES is moderating well, as mankind has been known to be reckless with a lot of freedom. That is why cultural and traditional norms, including taboos, are there to moderate human societies. Suffice to say, the cheers by members on the uplisting of species is a celebration for the sake of the animals that cannot speak for themselves. After all, sustainable utilization have to consider all variables scientifically and rationally. On behalf of communities of Kenya here and the Kenyan delegation for the rapport, the Conservation Alliance of Kenya and all our partners, I say congratulations Sri Lanka, Asante sana for the host. Thank you very much.
Asante sana for that wonderful and inspiring speech. We are the animals that are supposed to be speaking on behalf and in protection of those who can't speak. What an inspiring saying that I think would remain dear to all of us here. The last on my list on the NGOs and IGOs is Namibian Association for CBRM.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On behalf of NACSO, NNF, IRDNC, and GPTF, and our communities in Namibia, I would like to take the opportunity to thank the South African government for all their efforts and their people for making this COP a great success. We are thankful to the Namibian government and all the parties for listening to the Namibian communities. I hope that we, the Namibian communities, have made clear what communities have to offer on an international level. We hope that this will be continued on a later occasion and that we see more participation from communities, the people who live with much of our wildlife. From every party that is present here, we also hope that everyone who has listened to our stories also tries to visit Namibia and see how local communities make sure that Namibia's wildlife stays on the land. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you very much. I'm sure the distinguished delegates have listened attentively to that very warm invitation to the beautiful Namibia. I now give the floor to parties. First on the list is Chile. You have the floor.
Gracias, señora presidenta. Ha sido especialmente grato reunirnos en esta acogedora y dinámica ciudad de Johannesburgo con la notable atención que nos ha brindado el gobierno de Sudáfrica. Mi delegación agradece todas estas atenciones recibidas. Esta conferencia de las partes, señora presidenta,
been a very active one and has emphasized illegal trafficking in wildlife species as well as on the inclusion of marine species such as sharks and rays into the Annex 2 and 1. This is something that Chile has supported. This support is something that is also present in the unchallenged leadership that Chile has continentally and worldwide in the conservation of marine species. For example, we are leaders in the negotiations ongoing now in the United Nations concerning the third implementation agreement for the Convention of the Law of the Sea, where Chile is representing Latin America on the Bureau. I'm referring of the Marine Biodiversity Convention beyond the actual borders of the countries on the sea. Our participation and interest in nature is also reflected in our own participation in the Nuestro Océano conference last year. That's called our Ocean in English. This was an opportunity for Chile to announce a series of commitments that Chile has undertaken in marine and oceanic matters. Chile has been implementing a very strong foreign policy on ocean matters, and this has given rise to significant institutional, legal, and administrative changes at a national level. I would like to take advantage of this opportunity, Madam Chair, to convey to you the decision of the government of Chile to hold an Impact 4 convention, which is the International Congress of Marine Protected Areas, which will be held in La Serena City in the month of September of next year. All of these activities have been present against illegal poaching and illegal trafficking in wild species. And this, of course, has contributed to the promulgation of a law this year on the protection of wildlife species, and also a field manual to combat illegal trafficking in order to protect our vicuña species, among others, an emblematic species that we share with Argentina, Peru, Bolivia, and Ecuador. We will continue working for the sustainable management of all wildlife species and continue applying the Sustainable Development Goals, which are a subject that was addressed at the ministerial meeting held on 23rd September last within the framework of the Conference of the Parties. Madam Chair, the delegation of Chile is going to return home highly satisfied for having taken a great step forward in the conservation and sustainable management of the fauna and flora of our planet. Last of all, Madam Chair, we'd like to express our deep gratitude to the CITES Secretariat and to all of those who, in an anonymous manner, have contributed to the success of this multilateral meeting. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
I thank the distinguished delegates of Chile, and I now give the floor to China. You have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Take this opportunity, I'm honored to represent the Chinese delegation to congratulate the South Africa host this conference. This is the largest conference meeting which the numbers of the topic on agenda, which the numbers of decision or resolution we made, and so many side events during this meeting. And we will be fully to implementing the resolution decision. And in the future, we also believe they have so many challenges for the implementation for those challenges. They need not only just the party to make the effort, also the international community, and also through the international cooperation to implementing those decisions or resolution. Take this opportunity, we also give the thanks to the Secretariat of CITES. They are working hard and have a long time for the preparation for this meeting and the negotiation with the parties, and also the good service during the meeting. We also give the thanks to the chairman, both Committee 1 and Committee 2, who are good, were excellent manager for the meeting. We finally we give the thanks to the South Africa, the chairman for the plenary, especially the minister, Madame Maliwa, and also for your government the preparation for this meeting, and for the service for the meeting, including the security to guarantee the security for the participant. We fully agree your principle, both just to one hand to strongly take the issues for the wildlife conservation, and other hand to push the sustainable utilization, so we can to reach our goal. That means the sustainable development. We hope the South Africa continue your practice and continue to share your experience. And take this opportunity, we are also thanks Sri Lanka, the next host country, and thanks for your hosting the next conference. We are fully in cooperation with you. And finally, we hope the participants here have good health and smooth trip when you're back. We will see you in your next COP meeting. Thank you.
Share to the delegation.
Right, International Cooperations Minister Maite Nkwani Mashabane there ending their proceedings with all the delegates at the CITES COP17 conference, having their closing remarks, and South Africa being given a thumbs up with the speakers from many different countries, the likes of Namibia and the Seychelles, saying that they thank South Africa for hosting a very successful conference there. All right, let's take a break now, and when we return, we focus on what's been happening in and around the world and country